What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you. Today's Thursday, April 27th, 2023. We got some MLB player props to talk about over on Prize Picks. As always, I hope this video finds you all doing well and in good spirits. We're going to kick things off with a recap over Tuesday's plays, as we did not have any plays released yesterday. And then we'll dive on into the Prize Picks board. I have three props that you can see already on the screen that I like for today. So if you like the way that sounds, stick around, drop a like, drop a sub, click that notification icon to get notified of all upcoming content and videos from me and this channel. And without further delay, let us jump into those plays from Tuesday. All right, Tuesday was a terrible day. I don't know how else to put it, but we're not here to wallow or sulk, but we are here to recap our play. So let's do this quickly, starting with some hitter fantasy scores. We had three hitter fantasy scores that we were rolling with. We had Adley Rutschman over seven hitter fantasy score. We had Andrew Benintendi over 7 hitter fantasy score as well. And then Wander Franco over 7 hitter fantasy score. And neither one of those props came through. I feel like that's a typo. I feel like Wander Franco was at 7.5 hitter fantasy score. I'm just reading my notes right here. But nonetheless, they didn't even come close to hitting 7. So it doesn't even make a difference. In fact, the Rays and the White Sox combined for 0 runs scored in that game. So obviously Franco's hitter fantasy score and Benintendi's hitter fantasy score were on the under in that one, which is unfortunate because I thought they were both in really good spots to go over their prop. And then we had Adley Rutschman over his hitter fantasy score versus Corey Kluber. And again, another hitter in a favorable matchup with a pitcher who doesn't have his best stuff anymore. But Corey Kluber went out there and, fanned, quite a few batters in the first 4 innings and didn't give up much production. Started giving up some hits towards the end of his stint out there, but only gave up 5 hits in total, and it wasn't enough for him to go over that 5.5 hits allowed. So very frustrating day overall. 0-4. I don't believe I've ever gone 0-4 in player props, basketball or MLB since starting this channel. So making history here, and that's what it's all about, making history. So looking to bounce back from that terrible history. I got 3 plays for you today that can get us over the hump. So without further delay, we're transitioning back into the Prize Picks board, and we'll talk about these 3 player props. All right, so I got 2 pitcher fantasy scores and 1 hitter fantasy score. Let's start at the top with Kyle Gibson today. 30.5 pitcher fantasy score today versus the Detroit Tigers. Now, I want to break this one down very quickly. I want to get this video published very quickly, as I got a little bit of a late start today, and I want to make sure you have enough time to watch this video and add it to your research. So we're just going to zoom through a few of these bullet points, and all this information was extracted over from props.cast. So this is what I look at when I see this Kyle Gibson pitcher fantasy score. I see a pitcher who's in position to be pitching with the lead early in this game because of the team he's playing and the pitcher that's opposite of him, and Joey Wentz. Now, Joey Wentz has given up 14 earned runs over his last 4 starts, and I think that the Twins bats can get after him. So if Kyle Gibson can grab that lead early and pitch into the 6th inning, he can grab himself that quality start bonus over on Prize Picks. And if the runs are there and he's maintaining and making sure that the Detroit Tigers don't put any runs on the board, then he should be in line for the win. So you're looking at 10 points between the quality start and the win bonus right there. And then honestly, the rest of it just really comes down to his strikeouts. This is a guy who has averaged 6 innings pitched and 5 Ks over his first 5 starts of the season. And one of those starts came against this Detroit Tigers team where he struck out 11 batters. That would do it right there. That's 33 fantasy points right there. And if he goes 5 innings, that's 15. That's 48 fantasy points. Gives up 2 earned runs. Not even close to going under on that prop. One thing to note here is Detroit is currently top 10 in the MLB in K rate to right-handed pitchers with a 24.8 percentage. So they're swinging, they're missing. I really like this spot for Kyle Gibson today. Give me the over on 30.5 pitcher fantasy score. All right, and for our second prop on the board, Tyler Mahle over 33.5 pitcher fantasy score. So yet another pitcher fantasy score here, and this is a pitcher who is also in a nice position here to go over. So a couple bullet point notes that I want to share with you. Again, all information coming from props.cash. Now, strikeouts for Mahle have been on the down over his last 2 starts, only averaging 4.5 per start. However, today he faces a Royals team who's whiffing at the 7th highest rate in the MLB to right-handed pitching at a 24.9%. That's incredibly high. Last start, Mahle pitched into the 6th inning. So how I'm kind of piecing his fantasy score together is if he stays in this game, 6 innings, there you go again. He puts himself in line to grab that quality start bonus, so long as he doesn't give up more than 3 earned runs. And then if the Twins can get after Zach Greinke a little bit and put some runs on the board, then Mahle should be pitching with the lead into the 6th inning, and if it holds, then he gets that winning bonus, which is again combined 10 points added to the fantasy score. Now, the reason I mentioned Zach Greinke is this is a guy who has not had his best stuff in the last few years, and I remember him very, very accurately when he was in Houston. He was basically just living off the name, and the reputation of being this dominant pitcher. But I remember seeing him in Houston. He was just, reverted to a ground ball pitcher, somebody who would still give up home runs and power, but just wasn't striking batters out. So just not the same guy you're used to seeing in LA. But looking at Zach Greinke over his last 3 starts, he's given up 3.66 earned runs in those 3 starts. So again, Twins can get after Zach Greinke, give Mahle the lead, let him strike batters out, let him pitch into the 6th inning, grab some bonuses, and then he should be well over 33.5 pitcher fantasy score today. So that's prop number 2 that I like. And then for prop number 3, we're staying in the Minnesota we're staying in this Minnesota game, and I want to talk about Byron Buxton over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. Now, for this one, I will head on over to props.cash because there are a couple things that I do want to show you. So let's do that right now. All right, so pulling up Byron Buxton's last 10 games to start this season, man, like I said, he's starting to cook. So over his last 3 starts or 3 games, you can see that he's averaged, totaled 4 hits in that span. He's given us 11 total bases in that time frame. RBIs, again, 4 RBIs, runs scored. He's doing a little bit of everything, and he's even chipping in with 2 home runs in those 4 games, which is fantastic because not only are we looking for him to go over his hitter fantasy score, we're looking for him to do it with a home run today, as he is our 4-bagger swagger call of the day. So looking for Byron Buxton to get after Zach Greinke a little bit today. In his career versus Greinke, 14 plate appearances, you can see that he has 4 singles and a triple, but no home runs, no RBIs, slugging percentage over 500, and over 380 batting average versus Greinke. So here it is, trying to piece together how he can get us over 7.5 fantasy score. I think he can get it done with a home run, and in the event he's not able to hit a home run, he's been tearing the ball up over the last few games. So a couple of hits and RBI should get it done. I mean, that's a double and a run scored and an RBI right there. That's 9 fantasy points. I think this can get done. I don't really fear the matchup with him versus Greinke. I think him and the whole Twins lineup is in a good position to put up some runs and give that run support to Tyler Mahle. So these 2 plays correlate very well together. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are 3 player props that I like for today's MLB slate. Drop a comment below letting me know what you think about these plays. Also, let me know who you have your eyes on the player prop board. Now, because we have such a limited slate in the NBA today, let me just show you a potential six pick flex I was looking at rolling out there today. So gonna partner up the Trae Young steals and blocks and Jason Tatum free throws prop that we talked about in today's NBA video, along with a Marcus Smart field goal attempted prop, and teamed those up with the 3 MLB props that we talked about in today's video. So considering rolling this out in a 6-pick flex, I'm playing very light today. Just not a whole lot going on in the NBA, and just not a whole lot that I'm interested in the MLB aside from a few games. So thank you all so much for stopping by the channel and checking this video out. As always, I truly appreciate all of the support, the likes, the subs, and all of the comments, and truly helping this channel reach new milestones every single day. And until tomorrow's MLB Player Prop Prize Picks video, best of luck to you all tonight, and Chavez is